Good day, my fellow crocheters. I made a tutorial of a fishnet stocking last year and a lot of you loved it in spite of the poor video quality, and you asked me if it can be made up to the waist. So today I'm gonna be showing you how to make this high waist fishnet stocking, fishnet tights or pantyhose. This is very easy to make and it can be done within a day. I think it's a perfect timing for Halloween. I also made a matching sleeve and I think it's very pretty. I made a few changes from my previous tutorial of fishnet stocking, but if you prefer to follow that, it's no problem, it will still come out the same. I used an elastic band for the waist, but if you don't have an elastic band, nothing to worry, I got you covered. I will show you how to make the waist without the band. So if you're ready, let's get started. For tutorial purposes, I'm using this So Crafty DK yarn in beige. You can also use worsted weight. The black stocking in the video, I used worsted. This is 100% acrylic yarn and it's approximately 300 meters. I used one ball and a little bit more, and I'm making size small. Stitch marker, 5.5 mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, elastic band which is optional, and a thread in any color. To start, make a magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your finger, make an X at the back, then insert hook under, and then grab the yarn, twist, and yarn over and pull and make a slip stitch. So there's your magic ring, and then put 3 single crochet in the circle. That's 1, and then 2, 3, and then pull the yarn end to close the hole. To end this round, slip stitch on top of the single crochet at the beginning of the round. So you will have 3 single crochet in total. For the next round, chain 1, and this does not count as single crochet. Put 2 single crochet in the very first stitch where your chain is. So that's 1, and then 2, and in the next stitch put 2 single crochet. The beginning will be a little bit confusing. Maybe you won't recognize the stitches much, but just count it. So that's your last single crochet there. Put 2 single crochet in that stitch. You will have 6 single crochets in total for this round. To end, just slip stitch on top of the first single crochet from the previous round. Next round, chain 1, does not count as a stitch. Put 2 single crochet in the very first stitch where your chain is. Then 2 single crochet in each of every stitches from the previous round. To end, slip stitch on top of the first single crochet. In this round, you will have 12 single crochet in total. Now, if you're making for a child, at this point, you stop increasing and just put 1 single crochet in each of every 12 stitches until you have long enough to cover the joint circumference. I will show you later uh, where is the joint circumference of the foot if you don't know which part it is. If this is for adult, chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Put 2 single crochet in the stitch where your chain is, then 2 single crochet in each of every stitches from the previous round, ending with a slip stitch on top of the first single crochet. You will have 24 single crochet in total for this round. For the next round, we are going to stop increasing. Chain 1, then put 1 single crochet in each of the 24 single crochets from the previous round. And by the end of the round, just slip stitch on top of the first single crochet from the beginning of the round. And just continue this round until you have long enough to cover the joint circumference of your foot. So just put it on so you know. If you're making same size as me, I did 13 rounds in total of 24 single crochets. This will be my second round, so I will do 11 more rounds. So it will look like this. For the next part, chain 5 and then skip 3 stitches from the previous round. 1, 2, and 3, and then on the 4th stitch, make a slip stitch and then chain 5. Skip 3 stitches. On the 4th stitch, slip stitch. Repeat this process till the end of the round. Round 2, slip stitch till you reach the middle of the chain from the previous round. Okay, I just want to explain now that every start of the chain rounds, we are going to slip stitch to the middle of the chain from the previous round before we start chaining. So chain 5, and then slip stitch in the middle of the chain from the previous round. That will be the third chain. Yeah, I don't really count me because I think it will be time consuming if you keep counting. So just estimate if it's the middle, then just do the slip stitch. Okay, so to end this round, slip stitch in the same chain where you started the 5 chains at the beginning of the round. To start round 3, chain 1, then slip stitch till the middle of the chain from the previous round. And then when you reach the middle, start chaining 5. So this will be the pattern for the remaining rounds, and do this until you have fully covered the instep part of the foot. If you are making the same size as me, I did 10 rounds in total for this part, including the last 2 rounds. Then next, we are going to do the heel part. Fold half, then put the stitch marker at the other end of the half. There. And then chain 1 and single crochet in the stitch where your chain is. Then put 5 single crochet in the 5 chains from the previous round. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5, and then 5 single crochet in the next chain, and into the next chain 5 single crochet again, then single crochet in the stitch where you put your stitch marker. Round 2 for this part, chain 1. This does not count as a stitch. Then turn work, single crochet in each stitch until the end of the row. There. And this will be the pattern for the heel part. So just repeat this until you have fully covered the heel. And I did 13 rounds in total of single crochet, including the last row. Next part, connect the 2 ends. Insert hook in the first single crochet of the other end, then grab the yarn and make a slip stitch. And then chain 1, and now we are going to start working up. So we're going to work this part, and this one we just close that later on. So start by chaining 5. We already chain 1, so just add 4 more chains. and then slip stitch in the middle there, then chain 5, then slip stitch in that one there. Well, that's the beginning of the single crochet for the heel part. So make a slip stitch there, and then chain 5 and slip stitch into the middle of the 5 chains from the previous round, then chain 5 and slip stitch in the middle, and another chain 5 and into the middle make a slip stitch, and then chain 5. So just copy what you did in the other side. So we made a slip stitch in there, so slip stitch there, and then after you just chain 5 and then slip stitch in the middle in there, chain 5 and slip stitch. So that's the end of this round. Round 2, slip stitch till the middle of the chain, then chain 5, do this all around. By the end of this round, slip stitch in the chain where your first 5 chain at the beginning, so this is the round 2. For round 3, you just chain 1, then slip stitch till the middle of the chain from the previous round, then start chaining 5, and this will be the pattern for the whole legs. I did 18 rounds in total before I started to increase. For the increase part, put your stocking on, and if it's a little bit tight, that's when you start increasing. I increased twice. To increase, just increase your chain. So the first increase, instead of chaining 5, I chained 7. I did another 18 rounds in total. Then I increased again by chaining 9, and I did 16 rounds in total. So this is how you do it until you reach this part. If we don't have the same number, it does not matter as long as you put it on and it fits you. When you're done, just cut yarn and then chain 2 and pull yarn to secure. Then make another one of these, but don't cut yarn at the end because after we are going to connect and work our way up to the waist. Now we need to do the crotch area. We need to find the middle of the stocking that's going to be in the crotch and put stitch marker so we know which area we need to do the connection. So I didn't cut my yarn, and to find that middle, just lay your stocking like this and just trace it up until you find the middle. Yeah, fold it like that and just trace it up, and you will find the middle. I already connected mine. And then when you find the middle, insert your stitch marker in that middle and do the same with other leg and connect them with the stitch marker like what I did. And then after that, we are going to connect these two Okay, so let's insert the hook back into the yarn and let's turn this. And then we're going to chain 9 and connect it to the other side so that's the middle, and then connect it in there. Just insert your hook and make a slip stitch. Alright, next chain 5 and then remove the one leg from the stitch marker and insert your hook in there and slip stitch. Chain 5 again and slip stitch in the chain where your stitch marker is there. So just take that stitch marker off. And then chain 5 and then connect it to this side here. And there, insert hook and slip stitch. And then after, chain 9 and slip stitch there. We are ready now to work our way up. So to start the first round, just slip stitch till you reach the middle of the chain. Just the same process what you did in every start of the rounds. You reach the middle, you just chain 9 and slip stitch in the middle of the chain from the previous round, and you just do this all around, ending with a slip stitch in the chain where your first chain is, where you started your first chain. So just slip stitch there and just keep doing this. You have to try your stocking on, and then if you think it's if your satisfied with the length of how long, if you want it up to the waist or high waist, it's up to you. But for me, I like it high waist, so I did 10 rounds of 9 chains. And after that, I'm going to show you the next part. I'm just going to show you how to connect a new yarn. So just do the chain, the 9 chain, and in the part where you slip stitch, that's when you do the connection. So this is the new yarn, and then find the middle of the chain, and instead of you insert your hook, but instead of grabbing the old yarn, get the new yarn. Then just yarn over in both old and new yarn, and then pass it through the chain and to the loop. Basically, it's a slip stitch. And now we're ready to continue our work. Okay, so I'm finished making 10 rounds of 9 chains. The next part will be very easy. You just chain 1, and then we are going to put 9 single crochet over the 9 chains. So we do this all around. So put 9 single crochet there, and then to the next, and then by the end of the round, just slip stitch into the first single crochet at the beginning of the round. Okay, so I just want to show you, this is the end of my round, the first round of single crochet for the waist part. So just slip stitch into the first single crochet at the beginning, and then to start the new round, you chain 1 and then put 1 single crochet in each of every stitch all around, and you just repeat this for 5 rounds, or you just decide how long you want this part. It's up to you. Then after, we are going to connect the elastic band. For the elastic band, wrap it around your waist, not stretching. Leave a gap of 3 inches, then cut it. Then connect the 2 ends, making sure that it's not twisted. Like this, and then get the thread. You can use any color that you want because the band will be hidden, so it's not a problem. And just run a thread there to connect. Just make sure that it will be secure. So to attach it to the waist, insert the hook back, and then chain 1, and then put the band in the middle, and we are going to make single crochet over the band. Insert hook in the very first stitch and single crochet, and then to the next stitch, and do this all around. And by the end of the round, slip stitch into the first single crochet at the beginning, and then just chain 2 and then cut yarn and pull to secure. Now if you don't have an elastic band, make a long string by chaining. You can see me making this in my booty short tutorial. And if you want your string to be thick, go back with a slip stitch or single crochet in every chain. Then do the same process with what we did with the elastic band to attach. So that's it. The stocking is finished. I hope you enjoy making this stocking, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe. And the next part, I'm gonna be showing you how to hide the yarn ends, and I'm going to close the heel part, but I'm not gonna do a voiceover for that part.